Good evening, tribe. How you guys doing? This is my review of season one, episode seven of My House. I think it's seven. So the episode opens up with Tati and Alex at New York Fashion Week, and they are walking in a fashion show, looking fierce and all that the wonderfulness that comes with walking at New York Fashion Week. Dreams come true, and you know who would have that whole who would have thought. I used to watch these shows on TV, and now I'm walking in the show. Just a great moment for both of them. And I feel like this episode was like the money episode, because they were talking to everybody, and everybody was sort of talking about their hustle and their grind, and kind of how they make money and make ends meet. And so they start off with Alex, and we see that Alex got a 9 to 5. Like, he has toured the world, and he dances, and he's very accomplished in his field. But like he said, I like to, when I travel, I like to travel in style. I like to live a certain way, and I'm a hustler, and so I'm going to keep my 9 to 5 while I'm doing everything else. He said that when he came back to New York, he knew he wanted to stay in New York and sort of set up roots for a while. That he had been traveling for a long time, and that he had basically had almost had a nervous breakdown when he said he was on the plane to Russia, and he like made them land the plane because he was losing it, and he was like, I made a conscious decision to come back home, but in making that decision, I know I got to be on my grind. And so we see him working at his 9 to 5. He works at a warehouse, and he's kind of he almost like an office manager. He was doing a little bit of everything, but respect. You know what I mean? Like, until you get to where you want to be, that's what the grind is about. And getting it wherever you get it. And then we see Miss Precious, who is in Germany, and her friend, I think his name was Shay, is with her. And she's talking about being on her grind. And she's saying, she's talking about she's ready to drop her EP. And she plays a song for him, which is hot. I like that beat. Like, I love it. And in the song, she's talking about running her money. Bitch better have my money, run me my money, give me my money, don't be a dummy. You know what I mean? And she said that it basically comes from being at a place in her career now where she can't play those games with people. Like, don't be half-assing with my money. Pay me my deposit. No, I'm not going to be traveling on the city bus to get to your gig. Like, you're going to pay. You know, I have I've come to a certain point in my career, and I'm in demand, and you're going to pay me for what I'm worth. Like, I'm all about know your worth. And she's like, that's where I am right now. Like, you're going to pay me for my worth. You're going to pay me for where I am. Then we see Jelani. Y'all know I love me some Jelani. I started following him on Twitter. I'm not a stalker, Jelani, but I really love you, sweetie. I love your story. I love who you are. But in this episode, we sort of find out why he's sort of a loner. Remember, I was telling you guys that it's clear that he has friends and he knows people, but he seems to always be alone. So he wants to get into investing and real estate and stocks and bonds and all of that. Like, he wants to get into that side. And he said that, Jay-Z is somebody that he really looks up to, the way Jay-Z kind of, moved into corporate America and that kind of thing. So he's meeting with a financial planner. And, excuse me, sorry. So he's meeting with a financial planner, and I think he thought he would get something different from the financial planner. I've met with financial planners before, and basically their job is to help you spend your money in a better way. And Jelani was trying to talk to him about investments and stocks and bonds, and this guy was talking to him about, well, what is your biggest bill? Where do you spend your money? What do you think you can save money? Like, that's what financial planners do, right? And Jelani was basically saying that financially he's good. He didn't get into a whole lot of detail. He said he dances and all of that, but he's self-employed and he's fine. Like, he don't need no money, but you could always use more. Like, he wasn't saying like he was rich, because he was clearly letting us know that he's not where he wants to be. But he's not about to be homeless kind of situation. So he's talking to the guy, whatever, and he's talking about how, he starts getting into his story. And we find out that, and he told us in prior episodes that his dad was a drug dealer. And his dad was, I guess, a pretty good drug dealer because before he went to jail, they were living good. Jelani said, I was spoiled. I pretty much got what I wanted. You know, we were living good. He was like, then my dad went to jail and pretty much all hell, everything went to hell from there. He said rent control. Their apartment was no longer under rent control, so their rent went from like $500 to $1,300. Even on Section 8, even with government assistance, they just could no longer afford to live where they were living. And he talked about lights being cut off and things like that. And he said, and that's when he got put into foster care because, people started seeing him be dirty and bruises. He didn't get into no details about the bruises. And I told you guys before, I'm an educator and we're mandatory reporters. So if he was showing up to school like that, somebody called social services. And he said he went into foster care and he said, a lot of times when you go into foster care, a family member will pick you up rather than let you go into the system. But he said not in his case. He said nobody in the family took him and he ended up in foster care. But we met one of the first foster parent he had, the guy, Mr. Charlie, and he actually had a couple of restaurants. And Jelani said he treated us really good. He said, and I love the fact that I could eat whenever I wanted and all of that. So he said that the realization when he went into foster care that he didn't say it like this, that nobody wanted him, but he said that was sort of the realization was I was on my own and I had to grow up. He said, and I was a hustler. I sold drugs. He was like, I was an escort. Like, I did what I had to do to make money because I knew I couldn't rely on anybody but me. And he talked about Harlem. That's when they were living good. So Harlem is his favorite, place in New York because that has good memories for him. And so we really get that insight into Jelani and where he is in his life and where he wants to be. And again, y'all know I love me, Jelani. I ain't gonna keep dwelling because he gonna really think I'm a stalker. I'm not, but I don't know. It's just something about him that I love. And then we see Miss Lolita. Now, Lolita, girl, you are from DC. See, that's where I'm from. I'm born and raised in DC, and I live in the area now. And so she is from the DMV, and we see her hustle. On top of walking and doing the ballroom and everything, she actually has an eyeglass line called was it Fearless Feline? I wrote it down now. I wrote it down. Feline Frames. I don't know where I got the Fearless Feline from, but Feline Frames. So two things, because I've been talking to Miss Lolita on Twitter too. So two things I'm gonna say to you, Miss Lolita. First of all, I need the website of your Fearless Frames because as you can see, I am blind and I like your frames. So I need me some so I can put my thick ass prescription up in there and get me a couple of them frames. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, when you were talking, you talked about a ball in DC. I've been trying to find a ball for years. Hook a sister up. DM me where I can find me a ball in the area. Anyway, back to the video. So we see where she moved to New York with her boyfriend. Right now they're currently living with his mom. And you see her on her hustle. Like, again, she's on her grind and she has a photo shoot. She's got Tati and a few other of her friends in the photo shoot. And the boyfriend was saying, look, actually the mother started it. The mother was saying that he does everything for her. Like, her dream is his dream, and how he works so that she can make her dream happen. And his mom was even like, I was like, dang, I ain't never known love like that before. And I was like, that's some special kind of love. And then they interview the boyfriend, and he's like, This ain't been no easy road, but this is who she's always been. Like, she's always had this vision. She's always wanted to do these things. And I'm here to help her dreams come true. And, she told him, look, I'll be homeless for my dream. He said it happened. They were actually homeless at one point. But it's all to move towards this grind and move toward this hustle of what she wants and where she wants to go. And so, to everybody, that's pretty much what the episode, excuse me, gave us. You see her photo shoot. You see, and like I said, I want the website, boo, because I want to order me some because the frames are really cute. They're really, really cute. And photo shoot looked like you guys were having a good time and everything. But that's pretty much, like I said, this felt like the money episode. Like, and I think that's a question that people ask, like, well, how do y'all make money outside the ballroom? Like, what is your 9 to 5? What other things are you doing? And so I think they did a good job of giving us that information. Once again, another great episode. And I look forward to next week. Next week, we're going to see Precious and her quest for love, girl. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. And I will talk to y'all later.